So here we are today on one of our, don't even know what I'm calling this series, Ancient Britain Explorations, exploring ancient sites, whatever. So today we are in Cornwall and we are attempting to find the Hurlers stone circle, which is down here. And because it is yellow, that means it is Bronze Age, and it is supposedly a religious or ritual site. So, down here, and that's what we're going to try and find today. Let's go. The Hurlers Stone Circle can be found just outside the village of Minions on Bodmin Moor. Yes, they know. There is a convenient car park with some useful signs and information about the surrounding area. The site and accompanying small visitors centre are managed and cared for by the Cornwall Heritage Trust. The views out across the Cornish landscape are stunning, and the moor is as brooding and mysterious as ever, dotted with the remains of the tin mining industry. So we're here at the Hurlers Stone Circles in Cornwall, and it is an absolutely glorious place to visit, beautiful stone circles. And I'm saying stone circles because there are actually 3 of them. So there's this one behind me, there's one further up the hill, and there's one over there that we'll go and have a look at in a sec. They are dated from the late Neolithic period to the early Bronze Age period, and they have all been hand smoothed, and all the chippings have been found in pits nearby during an excavation that took place in 1930. Now there is a local legend, which is how they get their name. They are called the Hurlers because the local legend says that they are stone people. They are men who have been turned to stone for playing the game of hurling on a Sunday. Hurling is a very old game that's kind of like a cross between hockey and football, and of course Sundays are supposed to be for worshipping God and going to church and not doing anything so frivolous as playing sports. But obviously they predate that by a long way. Now all of the stones here in the circle today do have some sort of damage to them. They've all got either stone robbing, so some of the stones are missing. Some of them have been pushed over, either by just weathering and age, or by cattle that are grazing on the moors. They like to use them as scratching posts. So this is the third circle. It's quite possibly the least well preserved. It's only got sort of 2 standing stones and a few lying stones that have fallen. And you can also see in this circle lots of pits, a bit like this one. And they are from old tin mining. Obviously tin mining was a huge part of Cornish industry for many, many years, and lots of prospecting went on around this area, and I suppose tin was more important than some random stone circle that they found out on the moor, so they decided to dig holes in the middle of it. In the distance you can see what was an old tin mine with a pumping house. So that was the slightly more moved on and slightly more advanced form of tin mining, rather than just digging little holes all over the countryside. So these standing stones are known as the Pipers, and they are but a few hundred yards from the Hurlers stone circles. And they're called the Pipers because it is part of that same legend that as the Hurlers played their game, the Pipers played, and again, because they were playing music on a Sabbath, instead of being good Christians and going to church, they were turned to stone as well. It's quite an interesting story. I have always wondered what it would look like when places like this were in use. Were they places just for the sort of priest people to come and honour the gods, honour the lands, celebrate, record sunrises, sunsets? Were they places of community? Did everybody come together into these circles? Or if it was everybody, was it a solemn occasion? Did they sort of come in silence and process round in a very ordered way? Or was it more joyful? Did people dance here? I suppose we'll never really know until we invent time machines and can go back and find out. But you can tell a lot from the energy of a place, and although there's been, a few thousand intervening years, how it speaks to you is very different from place to place.
There is another interesting site to visit in this area, this time a natural stone formation. The Cheesewring is an impressive granite outcrop which lies approximately 1 mile northwest of the village on Stow's Hill. It gets its unusual name from its resemblance to a type of press used in cheesemaking. Wilkie Collins, author of the 1861 book Rambles Beyond Railways, seemed to find the formation most disagreeable, saying,
"If a man dreams of a great pile of stones in a nightmare, he would dream of such a pile as the Cheesewring. All the heaviest and largest of the 7 thick slabs of which it is composed are at the top, all the lightest and smallest at the bottom. It rises perpendicularly to a height of 32 feet, without lateral support of any kind. The 5th and 6th rocks are of immense size and thickness, and overhang fearfully all around the 4 lower rocks which support them."
The stones do indeed seem to defy gravity, balancing seemingly quite precariously on top of the hill, as if placed there by some giant hand. There is, in fact, a local legend that says the Cheesewring is the result of a stone-throwing contest between the giant Uther and Saint Tu. In reality, the stone's striking appearance is the result of millennia of weathering by the wind and rain. The Cheesewring is a fairly easy walk from the car park next to the Hurlers Stone Circle Visitors Centre, although there is a steep climb up the hill to reach the formation. It can easily be enjoyed from afar as well, which is what we did, because it felt like too much effort to climb the hill that day. It was also very cold and windy when we visited, despite the late autumn sunshine. If you ever decide to visit Bodmin Moor and enjoy this expanse of brooding wilderness, be sure to come well prepared. The weather can change dramatically and quickly, and it's easy to get caught off guard. Wild places like this still demand respect.